Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning. A very warm welcome to this morning's session. My name is Samantha Barnard. We are currently recording this session. I'm also live streaming to our Facebook account. So hence the slight delay this morning. I'm about to share my screen. So if everybody that is joining us on Zoom, please let me know in the chat box if you can hear me and if you can see me. And also, please do introduce yourself. Let us know which nonprofit organization you are joining us from today. And also, what are you most wanting to learn about this morning with us as we talk about 6 OneDrive cloud storage tips for your nonprofit organization. While we do that, I see there is a slight delay on Facebook. Good morning to our Facebook followers and fans and friends. We have not done a live stream in a little bit. This session that we're hosting today is our last Microsoft Focus session for 2021. And so I wanted to stream through to our Facebook page as well and say hello, good morning, how are you? Before we all hopefully, I'm hoping we all do break for a short holiday over the Christmas period. And we can obviously then share some information with you before you start wrapping up your activities for 2021. So as mentioned, if you are joining us on Zoom, please mute your microphone, please switch off your camera. It just makes the experience so much better for the rest of us as participants in the room. If you're on Facebook, please do the same as our Zoom colleagues and let us know down below which nonprofit organization you are watching from. Whereabouts are you based? In Southern Africa, which country is your nonprofit operating in? Because we do have some TechSoup Africa partners joining us this morning. I'm going to detail that a little bit later on in the slideshow. So if you are based in Botswana, for example, and maybe you have colleagues in East or West Africa, let us know down below and we can connect you with our TechSoup partners in those regions. Now, before we get started, for those on Zoom, I'm going to launch a very, very quick poll. Please, will you just take 10 seconds just to read through it and just to answer it for me? I'd love to gauge who in the room has already received 10 free M365 Business Premium seats, who in the room has not yet received them or not yet applied, and who still has an application pending. The reason for that is for those of you that RSVP'd to this attend via your email, our support team is in the chat with us today. We also have some of our other African partners who also actively work on your applications. And so let's see if we can assist you if you do have a pending application and answer your questions as to how to receive that software. And I see many of you have already answered it, and we're sitting on a 60%. Yes, you've received your 10 free M365 Business Premium seats, which is great news for me because today's session is all about OneDrive. And it's not the norm that you all expect from me when I talk about the Microsoft Cloud products. I have listened to all of you in our previous sessions, and I wanted to share with you today how I use OneDrive. I've got many screenshots as to what I do with my software on my laptop that I'm streaming to you from, as well as from my mobile phone when I'm not in front of my laptop. And in order to get started with the topic, it's very important that I detail the difference between OneDrive and SharePoint, because that's a common question that we get asked. And even sometimes for me, when I'm using the two pieces of software and the ecosystem, I also sometimes get a little bit confused. So OneDrive is your cloud storage housed within the Microsoft Cloud for nonprofits. And what I usually do to remember it off the bat is that these are files that are private to you by default in your cloud. SharePoint is also part of the Microsoft Cloud for Nonprofits ecosystem, and that is whereby you've got the cloud storage, but you've also got added functionality where by default, your SharePoint documents are usually collaborative documents within a team. So if you are using your M365 Business Premium software and you've set up Teams, which is another standalone product from Microsoft, and you've got channels in your team, think of all the documents that you put into those channels as going to SharePoint, because there are multiple people within your team working on those conversations, on those documents, and so on. OneDrive, on the other hand, is your private files that if you have synced OneDrive to your device, you then can edit Word documents, Excel, PowerPoint, and so on privately to you, linked to your email address, And the beauty of it, which you'll see shortly, is that you can then share it out with your team, or you can sync it through to SharePoint. Another way that I use to describe this is, if you think about, for those of you that are working in an office, or back in the day when we used to work in offices together, you would have a filing cabinet in an office that everybody could access if it was unlocked. So think of that as your SharePoint. It's a center that is housed within your office, and you can put pieces of paper in it, and anybody can open it and take those pieces of paper out and write on it or highlight it or whatever the case. Whereas with OneDrive, you might have a file like this that you keep your documentation in, that in this setting, only I can see it. It's my financial, it's my payments file. Nobody else in the organization necessarily has to see that. But while I'm keeping it updated with my paperwork, it's closed to me. However, I might want to take this file and go and drop it off with SARS or with our auditor once a year. And in order to do that from a OneDrive perspective, you can change the settings for different files within your OneDrive ecosystem. Just to all of you watching us on whichever channel, we will have this presentation in a PDF copy on our website. We will also email it out to everybody that is RSVP'd so that you can have this explanation with you and refer back in the future. Now, to me, OneDrive is probably one of the most important Microsoft Cloud tools that I use. Not only do I do streaming sessions like this with all of you, I also do our marketing, but I've got a very, very heavy financial governance role within the organization, and that requires many, many Excel spreadsheets, many budgets. I have to link our accounting software. Most of you that purchase software through our catalog, you'll receive an invoice from myself that I've raised, and I then have to typically port it through into my OneDrive folder so that I can keep SARS happy with regards to narrative reports, but also my board. I need to report back to them on a quarterly basis, for example, with budget controls. And added to that, I also have to work alongside our other team members and our global partners to make sure fundraising proposals, grants, M&E, databases, you name it, everything needs to be in one place for me. And for my role within Pombano, OneDrive is the most beneficial tool. Not only do I have 1 terabyte of storage, which means I never have to worry about running out of storage, but as you can see on screen, I've got 6 tips that I use every single day. I wanted to share it with all of you and show you screenshots from how I use the tool, because if your organization is eligible and you can access this for free, I highly recommend that you do that, particularly as we go into 2022, because I think we can kind of all agree that we are probably as a landscape going to start working under more hybrid conditions, which is some staff might be working remotely and some might be based in your office or in your community. So tip number 1, when I mentioned right in the beginning that when you start working on OneDrive, your folders are by default made to only your permissions to you to view. The beauty of it is that you can actually change your view permissions, and it's very, very easy to do. Not only can you do it as on screen once you've synced your OneDrive to your device, so that's if you're using your Word, your Excel, your PowerPoint as downloadable apps on your devices, but you can also do this through the cloud and through the office.com login, which I'll show you a little bit later on. And the reason why this is so beneficial for me is because my auditor and my accountant doesn't need to be on our Microsoft Teams channel. So yes, we've got the collaborative SharePoint access for the Pombano team, so like Di and Spa and Lelo and Arnold, but I also need to send narrative reports to our auditor on a monthly basis. And for her, I need her to be able to access certain pieces of information in my Word documents or my Excel spreadsheets, but not give her access through my SharePoint. I only want to give her restricted access through my OneDrive. And if you've got Word downloaded on your device, you can do this as I'm talking and you can go through step by step. But all you're going to do is create a document. You're going to save that document. That's the first crucial step. You must save it onto your OneDrive platform. Once you've done that, you're going to click on File where the orange arrow is. And once that blue ribbon on the side, that menu bar opens, you're going to click on Share, where the orange arrow is pointing to. After you've done that, another pop-up box is going to pop up, and where the little pencil is with the drop-down arrow, if you select that, you can either make changes in terms of who can edit it, who can view it. You can also click on the little gear icon and you can change the link settings. An important note about this is there is typically somebody in your organization that is called the global admin. So that's the administrator of all of your Microsoft Cloud ecosystems. If you go through this and you cannot see these options, then you need to go and find the global admin within your organization and ask them to help you make these changes via their administration portal, which Arnold and Spakamiso in the chat, and they can also help talk you through that if you need some help from the global admin perspective. But the beauty about this is that, let's come back to one of my examples. I give my accountant and my auditor full access, whereby they can edit the document with me, they can put in formulas, they can make changes, but I then also send that document over to board members while the accountant and I are busy editing it, so that they can only just view it. Because sometimes you might want a document where people can view and monitor maybe, or not necessarily have to give input, but you don't necessarily need them to edit it. But you do need other people, not just internal to your organization, but external, that can also edit it. And this is how you do it via any of your Microsoft, let's call it Office standard applications. So your Word, your Excel, your PowerPoint, and so on. Now, the next amazing feature for me is Autosave, because I like to, as I'm sure you can see, I talk very quickly. I like to type very quickly. Sometimes I'll have an amazing idea and I'll just start typing, and then I'll sort of get distracted because my phone will ring. And I don't know if any of you have ever had it where you've worked so long and so hard on a fundraising proposal, you've had multiple people in on the document with you, or maybe they haven't been on the document with you, but you've been taking, little post-it notes and other pieces of paper, and you've been writing something and then you forget to save. And then if you're in South Africa, or actually Zambia as well, the electricity goes off and there goes your information. For me in South Africa right now, one of the pro features that I absolutely rely on is Autosave. And once you have got your M365 cloud, and it doesn't need to be business premium, it can be business basic, it can be business standard, apologies, not business basic, a business standard, or any of the other e-plans available through the cloud, and you've downloaded your apps, you can then turn on Autosave, which again is right at the top of the blue ribbon menu on your Microsoft document or app that you're using. And you can flick it through between turning it on and turning it off. Sometimes you might not want that autosave function, but for those of you that are dealing with load shedding, and we're kind of in the state of having to always be prepared for things to happen, autosave is one of those functions that have saved many of my documents before that I've worked really, really hard on. You'll note right at the bottom of the presentation, I've also got a hyperlink, and this is directing you straight through to the Microsoft portal, whereby they do this more in detail, step by step, and they've also given us permission to share with all of our nonprofit community members. Next up is making OneDrive your PC's primary drive. So if you're anything like me and you've got multiple Excel spreadsheets, you've got multiple graphics for digital marketing. For example, this, every time I record a session, it saves onto my computer, which then can take space on my actual computer, my laptop, my hardware. One other benefit of OneDrive is that you can set it up to be your PC's primary drive. And that means that whenever you're downloading anything from the internet, or if you're wanting to save attachments from emails, you can actually dedicate it through a file path into a OneDrive folder and access and use from a robust perspective that 1 terabyte of free storage that Microsoft is affording up to 10 users in your organization. So on the left-hand side of the screen, it might be the right-hand side for you. You all know my direction is a bit warped when I do my live streaming with you all. But from my screen on the left-hand side, you'll see a screenshot of what my computer looks like. This is a very important note here for everybody, because we often get NGOs that say, well, I've purchased Dropbox at a discounted rate from you, and I've also got Google Drive, and now there's OneDrive, and that's okay. You can have all of them sync through to your desktop, and you can choose whichever one you want to go as your primary drive. For me, I put OneDrive as my primary drive because it's got the most storage and it's the most robust. And also, I can then very easily share out those permissions between my SharePoint for my internal team and then my OneDrive file permissions for the external team and stakeholders that I'm dealing with. So when you do sync through your OneDrive to your PC, you're going to see two icons. The first is the cloud, the blue cloud, which says OneDrive, and that I want you to remember as this. It's your filing cabinet internally. It's your private one. The next one has got two little buildings. I call them filing cabinets, with the blue icon with the white windows. That you'll always remember is your SharePoint, and that's what everybody in your organization that is using Teams or SharePoint can have access to. So how I use this predominantly is within my OneDrive, on my File Explorer, I have a folder dedicated to my auditor. And every time a service provider emails me an invoice in Outlook, and that comes through as an attachment, what I do is I right-click on that attachment and I save it directly through to my OneDrive folder on my computer that my auditor has immediate access to. And in doing that, I don't need to download the attachment from Outlook onto my hardware, have that take up space on my operating system or not operating system, on my actual hardware, and then try and sync it through or port it through. I automatically do that from Outlook just by simply right-clicking on the attachment and saying save as, and then I choose the OneDrive folder that I've already synced through. Now, again, on the PDF that you'll all receive right at the bottom, there is a full detailed step-by-step process from Microsoft on how to do this. And the reason why I've structured this presentation like this is because if you are watching me in the future, hello there, what does the future look like? There might be some changes to the Microsoft operating systems, the way that they do the sync settings, and so Microsoft themselves will keep that resource updated for you. Once you've gone through all the steps, a little pop-up box will come up on your screen which says, do you want to set up OneDrive? And the important thing here is that where you must enter in your email address, you must put your work email address and your user email address. If you're not too familiar, which email addresses you might have access to that are on the Microsoft Nonprofit Cloud, you can reach out to us and we can help you find your global admin, or go into your organization and ask anybody who might have done a Microsoft application before that you're aware of, and they can then tell you which of your emails that you have access to has been assigned either a business standard or a business premium subscription. Next up, and this is critical for all of us, I think. I hope that this is going to be beneficial for all of you, but if you're anything like me, maybe you have deleted a file very, very quickly on your desktop or even on your cloud when you go into office.com and you go, oh no, I need to access that folder. Or maybe you've shared a folder with somebody external, they've deleted it by accident. The good news is that with OneDrive and the true power of the cloud is that you can actually restore those deleted items. Now, for this function to work, you cannot do it via your desktop, and it's not advisable to try. You do need to go to office.com. And once you get onto office.com, you will use your email address, your work email address to log in. That has got the subscription assigned to it. You will click on OneDrive. You will go to Recycle Bin, where the first orange arrow is pointing to. You will then have a separate page open up, which will list everything in your recycle bin. So as you can see on the second screenshot, I've got an invoice that I deleted and a new folder that I created for these purposes. Well, for the purposes of this presentation, all you need to do is click on the folder that you want to restore, and then you click the restore button right at the top of your menu, and that will automatically take it out of the recycle bin and put it straight into the folder that it was originally housed in. The beauty of that is once you've done that online, it'll automatically sync through to your device if you've set up OneDrive on your device as your PC's primary drive storage function. This is something that I think has saved many fundraisers, many social workers, and I think many board members. And the beauty of it is that little blue arrow next to the word restore, that icon. If you open up Word right now from the M365 Business Cloud, you will see that arrow on the top toolbar for all of your Microsoft applications, which means even if you're typing and you make an error and you delete, you can actually revert back to the previous version because it's housed in the cloud, and you don't have to retype out maybe 3 or 4 paragraphs if you've deleted it by accident. Again, as mentioned with this, there is a dedicated Microsoft resource available for you that I've hyperlinked on every single page. Now, many of you are using DocuSign, and you often come to us and you say to us, I need something to help me, scan and sign documentation. Maybe you've got stakeholder engagement presentations or contracts or anything like that. DocuSign is still one of the most robust tools out there for you to use, especially for external contracts being sent. However, if you have maybe got board members that are dealing with resolutions or anything to do with internal documentation that needs to be signed, all you need to do is get them onto the OneDrive mobile app, and they will use their camera function synced through, and they'll be able to scan, sign, and then send straight back to your team internally. And there you've got signed documentation that comes as a pro feature within the Microsoft Business 365 package. Again, there is a hyperlink with tools from Microsoft. I see I've made a spelling error here. It's not to restore deleted file items, but it's actually to scan, sign, and send. And what you can do is you can go through that step by step, which I've got listed here on this slide, where it actually details for you once you've got the OneDrive app, and it doesn't just have to be on mobile, it could be on a tablet. All you need to do is look for the scan icon, which is very similar to your camera on your phone or on your device. It's that round button usually that you would push to either start recording or to take a photo. And it works very similar to those of you that are maybe running a free app called, I think it's Cam Scanner, whereby you take photos of all your documents, it compiles it into one, and you can actually put into one PDF. That functionality is built in automatically through the OneDrive app, and there is an option for you to then sign on screen. Obviously, for this to work, you need to have a smartphone that you can use screen touch controls in order to have that work. So think of your tablets and some of your newer smartphones. But again, full step-by-step instructions here for you. And this is particularly helpful for those of you that are needing a lot of internal documents to be signed and scanned between different members in different countries or locations, particularly if you've got nonprofit volunteers or members out in the field and they need to get things signed. Maybe you might have claims, travel claims with internal staff that they need to maybe complete a form and sign it. You don't just want to use maybe an online form capturing, you actually want to see their signature. This is an absolutely phenomenal tool that I'm sure many of you didn't even know existed within the OneDrive ecosystem for you to start using for free from today. Right, we're almost done. Point number 6 is that it is highly recommended, no matter who you are in your organization, but if you are a nonprofit organization, which I hope you all are that are streaming in, you need to take very, very special attention to protecting sensitive data within your organization. I just want to quickly check who, I can just hear some sound back. So just a reminder for everyone to please keep themselves muted. So if you are dealing with Excel spreadsheets, maybe you've got some PowerPoint presentations that's got sensitive data in it, you do need to share it out amongst fellow staff members. And you might also be in a place in your organization where maybe you have to go to an internet cafe, maybe you are housed at another organization where your devices stay overnight, and you might want to add in additional security levels to protect your sensitive data. So sensitive data could mean anything from donor information, beneficiary information, projects that you're working on, marketing campaigns, board resolutions, you name it, anything and everything from a nonprofit perspective, I believe, is sensitive data. And especially with the POPI Act that's come into play, and especially with equipping your internal users with additional features, this is something that you can do immediately that we highly, highly recommend, not only to safeguard your entire Microsoft for Nonprofits cloud ecosystem, but most importantly, your OneDrive and your SharePoint folders. So all you need to do is go to office.com. That is if you have got a Microsoft or an M365 or Office 365 subscription. If you don't, I'm going to share with you some awesome information just now about how to get it. But all you need to do is go to office.com. On the right-hand side of your screen, you'll click on sign in. As you can see, Microsoft recognizes me through my two-factor authentication on my browser. So it'll say, hi, Sam, welcome back. Is this the correct email address that you want to log in with? You'll say yes. Once you do that, what will happen is you'll see on the top right-hand corner of your screen a little avatar where you can upload your picture, or it'll say, hi, Sam, welcome back. You're going to click on that picture, the circle, top right-hand corner, just underneath your close button at the top of your toolbar. You're then going to click on View Account, which is the first blue option underneath your name. And once you open that, you're going to get a full account page open that you can then go through all of your different settings. So for example, I can look at how many devices I have my subscription synced to. What are my privacy settings? What are my security settings? How many sign-ins have I activated? Am I using a password manager? Maybe some of you have accessed another tech donor of ours, Okta, and you've got some additional security levels in. You can see which Office apps you've got, what your subscription is, when is it expiring, how much information do you need, and most importantly, if you're running multiple group chats. So let's say you've got sam@pombarnard.org.za as your main email, but then you've also got an email forwarded to you, which is info@pombarnard.org. You can actually see that through your organization setup and your security information. It's a really robust account overview portal for you. And what you're going to do is you're going to click on security info, the blue menu that says update info. And I highly recommend that you go through every single one of those options available to you on your subscription plan, and also what has been assigned to you by your global admin. If you are the global admin and you want to change that, please comment down below. As mentioned, the entire TechSoup Africa support team is on this call. They are available to assist you, and we can point you in the correct direction if you need some additional security assistance on how to set this up for all of your individual users as well. But the important thing is that if you are not the global admin, you as the user, you also need to put measures in place to protect how you use your device. So for example, if you know that your device needs to be switched on and you're in an office setup, but you might need to go out for lunch or you need to have a meeting in another part of a building and your computer stays on and open and you don't protect it, this is a way to add in an additional layer that you can take those steps to safeguard and to help amplify the security that the cloud already has built in. The important thing about this is that the cloud cannot do this by itself for you. So many NGOs worry about, how safe is the cloud? A lot of board members often have that question. And again, we're going to repeat, the cloud is as safe as what you make it. The beauty of it is that these tools are built in. The functionality is there. You might just need to activate it, change or tweak your settings, and then roll out an actual cybersecurity plan, managing and monitoring on a document basis or a day-to-day basis or a monthly basis. Now, for me, my settings that I've got is I have got a two-factor authentication that is linked to multiple other ways that I log in. I'm not going to share too much about that because I'm live streaming at the moment. But just so that you know, I have got two-factor authentication. I've also got device locks. So if somebody did happen to get my email address and my password and they tried to link my subscription to another device, they would not be able to do that. Arnold actually is our global admin, and he'd get an alert that says something suspicious is happening here. And then added to that, on top of that, for my actual device that I do most of my financial sort of governance from and document trail processing, I have got additional device security added on. So for many of you that have maybe got smartphones as well, a simple example of that is that if you look at, I've changed it for today, being able to just do that to unlock a device, a mobile phone, is not always classified as a strong security setting. Some of the best security settings are where you have to put a code in, maybe a thumbprint, but each to their own. Just know that there is functionality available for you to use, and we do highly recommend that you do use it because it's there for you to use through the Microsoft Cloud. Now, before I go back and go through some of the tips again, especially for those of you that have got questions, I mean, we open up to Q&A. I wanted to just detail very quickly how, if you don't yet have access to your OneDrive, 1 terabyte of free storage per user, up to 10 users, this is how we can help. We have got a free cloud consultation process in place. The link is on the screen, and one of my colleagues will post it in the chat box shortly. And all you need to do to check your eligibility to receive this is to complete that form, and one of our staff members will call you. They will check with you what operating system version are you running, how many users do you have, what is your eligibility, and so on. And they will assist you for free on doing the application directly with Microsoft to receive this. So that's step number 1 where we can assist you. Step number 2 is if you are in the Facebook room or the Zoom room right now listening to me and you've received your software, but you might be a little bit stuck as to how to set it up properly for other staff members, maybe your global admin settings or anything like that, we can do setup and implementation calls with you. Some of these do come at a charge, so please do reach out to us and let us know what it is that you need, and we can then quote you accordingly. Although I would say about 80% of our services related in pillar number 2 right now are free of charge. We just need as much information from you as possible to know how to assist you. And number 3, we do offer training through the Microsoft Digital Skills Center. And some good news in my next slide is that we are running a promo at the moment, which is only valid until December 31. But I'll detail more about that just now. But similar to this, we host free workshops like this, which we live stream. And we do it on our TechSoup Connect Southern Africa portal. You'll always see something free from us in terms of training. However, if you'd like to book me to do training with your staff, or maybe you'd like to book somebody from our East or West Africa team that deals with email migration or security, please reach out to us and let us quote you accordingly on that as well. Speaking of email migration and data migration, we've also got products relating to that. Again, this is on a quotation process at the moment, because we need to know how many users do you have in your organization? What exactly do you want to migrate? Is it email only? Is it data migration? Do you need to upgrade your Windows operating systems in order to participate in this M365 promotion from Microsoft? Do you maybe need to do a complete IT audit of all your devices in order to get your organization ready in 2022 to handle the cloud, because that is the way that we are going? We can help you with that. Whether you have just applied, whether you are applying, or even if you have got access to the cloud software, maybe you didn't set it up quite correctly in the beginning, come chat to us and let's see how we can assist you with our non-profit specific rates. And then lastly, we have ongoing support with regards to this. We have a help desk. You're looking at her and you know Arnold, we are typically your help desk consultants, whereby you can email us, you can reach out to us on social media. We've also got a fantastic help desk with the Microsoft Digital Skills Center. Natasha is in the chat. She's based in Kenya. She's the TechSoup Kenya partner. She's also based with TechSoup Africa, our regional center. And she's typically your help desk support if you are needing assistance with TechSoup courses through the Microsoft Digital Skills Center. So there are so many of us based across Africa, and not only do we do ongoing support in terms of social media campaigns, we also do email campaigns for newsletters. There's so many ways that we can help you for free, or we can help you at a heavily discounted rate. I have made a little bit of a note, and it is a disclaimer. Not all nonprofit organizations can receive this cloud software. You do need to be eligible according to Microsoft's eligibility requirements. And we can assist you with getting information about that as well. You just need to reach out to us and we will guide you as to where to get that info. So as mentioned, Microsoft has afforded a 50% discount offer on some selected Microsoft courses up until the 31st of December this year. The beauty about this, because I know we are pretty much all in holiday mode, particularly if you're in South Africa, you don't need to complete the course by the 31st of December. You do it at your own pace. However, if you would like to use the 50% discount, you do need to pay for the course before the 31st of December. It can be for you or for your entire staff complement, volunteers, stakeholders, beneficiaries, board members, you name it. Everybody is welcome. You do get a certification once you have successfully completed the course. It is online based and it has been developed with experts like us at TechSoup and the Microsoft Philanthropies team, as well as a lot of other stakeholders in the IT services field. So we're talking about experts within cybersecurity, experts within social media marketing, you name it. We've brought it all into the TechSoup courses platform, but this current promotion that we are offering is directly from Microsoft. It's a 50% discount, and the reason why is because I'm sure many of you have seen that there are some changes to the Microsoft program, specifically our catalog offerings across Africa and across the globe, actually. Microsoft have made a couple of changes to some of their on-prem or on-premise products. They are changing the way that you are going to access those products in the future. And they're obviously wanting to become a cloud first and a cloud leading software organization. So with that in mind, they are offering all nonprofit organizations within our community 50% discounts before some of these changes take place as of the 1st of Jan. Again, a reminder, you don't need to complete these courses by the 31st of December. You can do them at your own pace in the new year. However, to claim the discount, you do need to pay for your courses before the 31st of December. Di is in our chat box. You can email her on info@pambana.org.za to get some more information. We'll send you some info. We'll send you the coupon code. We'll also send you screenshots of how to register on the platform for free, because your account registration is for free, and how to get access to those selected Microsoft courses that are heavily discounted. And lastly, because it is almost holidays, I did want to keep this super short. I know I've booked you all on your calendars until 10 o'clock, but happy holidays, everybody. We've come to the end. We'll do about a 5-minute Q&A session, but I don't want to keep you until 10 o'clock because I know there's so much more that needs to be done in your day. And I know that I could breeze through this quite quickly. We are streaming this onto Facebook as well, so you can go watch it there. But you can also see this recording a little bit later on today on our YouTube channel. I will be emailing through a copy of this PDF to all of our Zoom members in the room. If you're watching us still on Facebook and would like to receive it, please comment down below. Let me know which organization you are with, and I will reach out to you on DM throughout the day to get your contact information. Please don't share your private email on Facebook. Please don't do that. Rather DM it to us, but just let me know in the comments that you would like me to DM you so that I can send you some more information. Before we go into Q&A, I want to thank our Facebook followers for streaming along with us. I'm going to turn off the streaming now for Facebook, and I'm going to wish you all happy holidays. I hope you all stay safe, and we will see you next year for more Microsoft events. However, we do have some Facebook training happening next, Facebook funded training events happening next week. So keep an eye on our Facebook account for that. And I'm going to go straight through to Zoom now and do a Q&A with them. So Facebook, take care. We'll see you in the comment section a little bit later on. And with that, I'm back onto Zoom. So I'd like to open up for a Q&A session. And let me just go and have a look if there is anything that has come through. If not, you're welcome to leave if you don't have any questions. I am trying to keep everybody's calendars open for about an hour, but only spend half an hour with you because I know how beneficial that is for all of us at this time of the year. Neil, yes, every slide has a hyperlink to a resource document with the hyperlink. Yes, so Neil, I will be emailing out this PDF and I will send every hyperlink to you. The PDF will also be available on our website. I'm actually launching, before I go on leave next week, I'm launching a dedicated events page on our pombano.org.za website where I'm going to put all PDF links to every single event we've hosted in the year 2021, and we'll keep that updated on a regular basis. Justin, I see I'm a global admin and would like to insist on all my users having two-factor. Perfect. Justin, Arnold or Spa should be in our chat box and they can reach out to you. Maybe just, if you haven't already, just private message Arnold and just give him your contact information for him to contact you. Natasha, so lovely to see you here. Thank you for joining us. I hope you don't mind. I'm sending everybody your way for TechSoup courses with queries. But I do hope that everybody's got your email address now that has registered on the platform already. But please, if you're interested in more info about courses, if you're struggling on the platform, if you want to add new users, myself, Di, or Natasha, we're the contact people for you. You can reach out to any one of us. Okay, what a lovely amount of people from all different. Kathy, lovely to see you. Do you remember back in the day when we used to be in person together at events? I so miss those days. I'm hoping we can do that soon. And now I just want to check towards the bottom of the chat box. Eleanor, need a complete IT audit? Perfect. Please reach out to Arnold and myself. If not, we will reach out to you early next year. If you do need it done before the holidays start, just note that we are closing our offices on the 17th of December. So you're welcome to reach out to us this week. Angela, did you say that beneficiaries can do these courses as well? Yes, they can. That's the amazing news about this. So Angela, myself, or Di can reach out to you on email. Or you can pop us an email as well and we'll give you more info. Hello, Given. Lovely to see you. I've seen that MS Teams has now a webinar option available. Is there a specific reason why MS Teams was not used for the session? So Given, that's a lovely question. And we get this all the time. So sometimes when I live stream onto Facebook, the Teams and the Facebook API sometimes glitch. And I've heard from people on our Facebook sessions when they see me live streaming and we're coming from Teams, there's a little bit of a delay. Whereas with Zoom, we don't really have that problem. I did experience it a little bit this morning. So we often just switch between the two different platforms purely based on our live streaming, and often we live stream to YouTube as well. And sometimes the two don't always talk as quickly as what we would like them to when we're live streaming. But I do know that there are some updates that have gone through on Teams, and I will be testing it in the new year with our January Microsoft event. And I will give you that feedback as well. But essentially with us, we use all the tools for multiple different reasons. And yes, there is a new webinar option available on Microsoft Teams. For those of you that would like more info, please do reach out to Arnold or myself. But also brand new news that's come out in the last couple of days is that the transcription and the closed caption feature on Zoom is now available to those of you that have got a basic or a pro account. So whereas before it was only available to certain plans on Zoom, it's now readily available for everybody. And I do suspect that that will roll out in all other live streaming tools in the future as well. Something to keep your eye on. Thank you, Kathy. Very happy wishes for your festive season too. Cool. Justin, you're going to get hold of Arnold shortly. Happy holidays to you. Kathy, you spoke about an IT audit. Would this be a comprehensive or specifically 365? We can do an IT audit based on your needs. So if you would like us to do a comprehensive, meaning we can check what operating systems you're running, how maybe your antivirus is set up, maybe what type of laptops or devices you've got. We can do that. If you'd like us to just focus on 365, we can do that too. If you'd like us to chat to you about Google Workspace, we can do that too. It's all dependent on what your needs are, and we will tailor make it for your organization specifically. Eleanor, also looking for some more information about that. Okay, Brian. If you had an Office 365 nonprofit subscription prior to the 10 free license offer, what happens when you get the 10 free licenses? So Brian, with regards to some of the Office 365 plans, depending on which one you've got, you could actually just try and convert that into an M365 Business Premium package. It's entirely dependent, though, on why you got the Office 365 in the first place. So if you were going for more robust security, if you wanted to have coverage for volunteers in a very specific way, and Office 365 nonprofit subscriptions was the option for you. What we would then do is we would show you, if you had to port to M365 Business Premium, what you would get, what you would lose out on, what the functionality differences are, and you can then select from there. And if you did want it to move over, it would simply just mean our team helping you port that over and change your subscription on the Microsoft portal, which Arnold is in the room, and he can assist you with that as well. And then that's it. It looks like no other questions. Arnold, do you want to say hello? Come on screen.
Yeah, no, look, all is good, Sam. Thank you so much. And yeah, I've got some few follow-ups that I need to do after the call.
Okay, I think it might just be my connection. I hope it's not just my connection, but I can't seem to hear Arnold anymore. There you go, Arnold, you're back.
Okay, sorry, Sam. So I said, so I've got plenty of follow-up to do after this call. So all is good, and thanks so much, Sam.
Perfect. So from the entire Pombano team, happy holidays. If you're traveling safe, please travel safe. If you're staying at home, I hope you get some rest. Please rest. Please do a social media detox. Please get off your software. As much as what we love our software and we promote it, we also want you to have a mindful and restful holiday and get ready to come back in 2022 as we do more Microsoft events. But we do have a project rolling out early next week, and that is for a Facebook project. Facebook is availing digital skills training to nonprofits in South Africa region for free. We will be sending out more information about that on our social media and our email newsletter, so please look out for that. And we do hope to see you all there. If not, we will see you in 2022, and I wish you all a happy holiday season. Until then, take care. See you next year. Bye-bye now.